I'm still in shock, I can't understand. I am so disappointed in man. Man make me cry, tears run from my eye. All I could ask was the reason why. Was man fighting power, he fighting greed. Oh, kid, man making blunders for selfish need. Man gon' call you brother, but man so slack. Say man with a dagger, stabbing your back. I'm mesmerized, shocker, still in dismay. Look how they treat me in the folk fair the other day. Chucky was thunder, Chucky was tough. Chucky was power, Chucky was rough. But politician respected this Calypsonian, who always seemed to look out for the poor man. But since Daphne Philip brainwashed the brother and make Chucky director of culture, since he got big position, he start moving strange. It's amazing how people could change. As they get in power, their plans rearrange. It's amazing how people could change. You have to agree. It's lies we're on in this whole country. Look how Chucky boy.
Hi, Sir Martin. This is Mark Mingo, candidate of the UP Party. I would like to invite you to the UP Congress at Ali's Convention Center in Madam Estate. Here you'll get a chance to meet me in person, to discuss the issues, to discuss the economy, and also to discuss the topics which are actually affecting your life, and to further enlighten you and explain you about the vision and where I, as Mark Mingo, will take the mountain.
I'm still in shock, I can't understand. I am so disappointed in man. Man make me cry, tears run from my eye. All I could ask was the reason why. Was man fighting power, he fighting greed. Oh, kid, man making blunders for selfish need. Man gon' call you brother, but man so slack. Say man with a dagger, stabbing your back. I'm mesmerized, shocker, still in dismay. Look how they treat me in the folk fair the other day. Chucky.
It's mine, Andrew. It's mine.
Give it back. Jesus. Hey, welcome to the Late Night Show presents the Dick Awards 2019. I'm your host, Andrew Dick. The 2018 winner, Stuart Johnson, didn't want to let it go, so I had to take it back from him. This is, of course, the Dick Award. It's symbolic. It's not the actual thing that we sent to everyone. But the Dick Awards, in case you just start to watch the Late Night Show, the Dick Awards is a special program I do every single year at the end of the year, whereby I award politicians who worked so hard to mess up this whole year, and therefore they get a special award. Because it's called the Dick Awards because my name is Andrew Dick, and it's the Late Night Show with Andrew Dick. So since I give an award, I'd say let me call it the Dick Awards. So the nominees, the winners, get a dick, which is an award. Thank you to Adult Toy Box for sponsoring our award. Hope these politicians don't shut you down after this one. This thing looks rusted. Looks open too. Anyway, it's supposed to be symbolic, Stuart.
It's mine, Andrew. It's mine.
All right, let us begin. Before we go into the awards, it's basically a top 5 that I give, a dick to the awardees. I could never say it with a straight face. In any case, before that, I decided to add another segment to the show, and we are going to call it the blue balls segment. Now, the reason why I call it the blue balls segment is because it leaves you wanting more. Basically, these people just basically just leave us wanting more. So that's why I call it the blue balls segment. Did somebody say ball? Why we have to do that for every time I say balls? Did somebody say ball? Okay. Let us begin. Now, basically, I have to do the worst, for the segment, because that's part of the blue ball segment. Did somebody say ball? But it's for this year, all right? So I'm not going to say in history, I'll say for 2019. All right. Let me start off with the worst bank in St. Martin for 2019. Women Islands Bank, and also RBC. Now, the reason why they have to share a dick is because in WIB, they give you hell to open a bank account. But besides that, in 2019, you can't walk with your phone and answer or be on the phone while you're in the lines waiting for next month to see which teller will actually help you. So therefore, WIB, Women Islands Bank, you get in a dick. Also, RBC. Where do I begin? No, seriously, where do I begin? RBC getting a dick because mainly because you can't change a check from a different bank that does business in St. Martin at RBC. It makes sense? So if you're not an account holder of RBC, you can't change your check there. You have to go to your own bank. They're sending you to your own bank. Therefore, they are the worst bank in St. Martin for 2019. Let me move on to a next one, which is the worst party place in St. Martin for 2019. Who's that? Cake House. Yes, you get it because of your rude workers. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it. Are you already know my story? If you don't know my story, look for the video. All right. Let me go with the worst gas station in St. Martin history for 2019. I'll give it to Texaco. Why? Because the sight of sore eyes of Texaco in Colby. Meanwhile, they built a whole brand new gas station at the causeway, near the causeway, at going over to Marigot there. I think they call it, what's this? Colby? Yes, still Colby. Yes, Colby. Close to the border there. They have a whole new gas station, but yet they didn't fix the one in Colby. I don't understand. I don't understand how Texaco does things, but it looks horrible. Therefore, they are the worst gas station on St. Martin for 2019. Let me go with, and also they don't have attendance at night. It pisses me off because at night I want to just like sit in my car and then attendant's supposed to like put the gas. But no, I have to go inside. Like, I hate that. Therefore, that's why I'm not going to do the worst thing again. But, makes them the worst gas station for 2019. Let me go with, this is my favorite. The worst car dealership in St. Martin for 2019. Who's that? That's, of course, Motor World. The only reason why is because they have a car show every week. And then based on that, this is how I love St. Martin people. They have a car show every week. And then they complain about being in traffic. You hear what I say, right? It's like, let me go get a new car. But why they have so much cars and why they have traffic? Yeah. No, look how I'm going to get my insurance renewed now. You know how vindictive these people are. I don't get it. They're the worst car dealership on St. Martin. All right, for 2019, let me see if the other car dealerships gonna step up and be worser. Get it? Okay. Let me go with the worst music video for 2019.
Life struggles. Life struggles. Everybody's crying for more. Crying for more. Life struggles. Life struggles. Everybody's crying for more. Crying for more. Ay, ay, ay. Oy, oy, oy.
Life struggles. Worst music video for 2019. Let me go with the worst nightclub. Okay, and I tell them the worst nightclub in St. Martin for 2019. Lotus nightclub. Yes, Lotus. They used to be my home, but now it's not. So therefore, they become the worst. Whatever. They have other places on St. Martin, so they are the worst. Let me move on to the worst road in St. Martin. Bush Road. I given it to Bush Road. Why I given it to Bush Road is because it's like you on a ferry going to Anguilla. When you're on near KFC there, like that road, just the little, when you have to filter, like, pa, 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 pa. And like we get so used to it, it's like we expected it whenever we go. So when they fix it, you was like, huh? Like, where is the shake? You notice? All right. The worst fast food. All right. The worst fast food in St. Martin for 2019. Oh, they said, I love my writers. They said, don't say it because they will spit in your food. So shut up. I agree. Because I have I have it right here. But I can't do that. I eat on St. Martin, I eat a lot of fast food. They will mess me up. Shucks. Anyway, this is why. Anyway, okay, fine. Let's go with the worst journalist in St. Martin for 2019. Who is that? Who is that? This is who.
A lot of parents are in pain for their children. When you look at the statistic at the Pine prison, the numbers that are there is around from 30 years old down. Our male youngsters. It may look happy and people may laughing and jollying, but parents are pained when their youngsters, which is not their fault, but they end up in the Pine prison. Is the justice office, the justice minister in your office, do you plan to do something better, like create some rehabilitated center, instead of imprison these youths?
All right, and last but not least, the worst phone company in St. Martin. Wait, why you blocking it? What? Because they're sponsor. Okay, so I can't be bound to sponsors. Like what does that mean? Like what does that mean? So I can't say it. Like you're just gonna do that every time I say it. Like I can't just say, oh, okay, so that's what you're doing to me. Like that's how we're gonna play it. You're just gonna decide what I could say and what I can't say. You're gonna censor me. But they are the worst phone company. Yes, they are. This is this is unacceptable. Let me speak to your boss. This is ridiculous. Anyway, they are the worst phone company. They steal your data. Fine, whatever. Now it is time for your Dick Awards. Let me start off by saying that we're going to go from number 5 and we are going to stop at number 1. Okay? Now, politicians, don't get vexed if you don't get a dick. Behave. Okay? Here is your award. It's going to be available to the winner only. Everybody else getting a symbolic. All right? Let me start with number 5. The number 5 Dick awardee goes to 2 persons. And those 2 persons is Frankie Myers and also Leona Marlon Romeo. The reason why is because they are the reason why we are in a political season right now. They are the reason why we have elections on January the 9th. Now, I know you're going to tell me that that's not true and it's because of the shift in parliament. But you know, deep down inside, guys, deep down inside, you know it's because of Leona and Frankie. But more Leona, because as soon as she found out that, you know, a new coalition was in parliament, she called elections. Like she literally dissolved the entire parliament, the whole parliament. Like, you know what? Are you no good? Let's go back to the polls because there is a conspiracy. The underworld is trying to take over. So we in elections, and then to add insult to injury. Hear this one now. They ain't even participating in the elections. So it's like literally throwing a bomb and busting out. Like, what happened? And they go like, peace, Martin. Like, I gone. You don't know. And also, Frankie just, like, I like how he doesn't take the blame for the instability in Parliament. But the facts is the facts. And what is the fact? The fact is, Frankie, you withdrew your support from the government that they had. Yes, you didn't go to nowhere. You didn't jump ship. You didn't go with the opposition. No problem, Frankie. But you literally started the ball, and that's where I was trying not to say ball. That's why. Anyway, and that's what got everything rolling. So even though you say it's not your fault, it is, because if you didn't pull your support from the government, we would be fine. Well, I don't know if it would be fine, but it wouldn't be your fault. That's why you getting a dick, and also Leona getting a dick. Number 5. All right. Who is our lucky number 4? Our number 4 dick goes to Ray Peterson. Why Ray Peterson is because, remember, he went on a whole crusade against Christopher Emmanuel, how he's no good, and the land, and so on. But yet, he requested land at over the bank area. You can't, Ray, you can't do that. Like, it's you can't do that. Like, you can't cite somebody for doing wrongness and then you request land too. You decline, yay, integrity, but you requested it. Yeah. So you're getting a dick. Let's go with number 3. Number 3 is my favorite. Why? Because she just come on the scene and she getting a dick. I just don't understand how she getting dick awards at this time. I gotta be careful now. Anyway, they're gonna shut me down. The number 3 dick goes to Miss Paula Gordon Carty. Why Miss Paula Gordon Carty? Because before she became minister, she wrote a bad check. Then after it was found out that it was a bad check. She came back and she said,
I'm a professional. I'm an accountant for 14 years, running my business, not only on St. Martin, but also in Aruba and in Curacao. And it's very unfortunate that the media is using the media to publish one sided stories and rumors that are not founded. And I find that my name should not be smeared or dragged into all of this when it is a political campaign taking place. So I will keep it at that. I do not want to emphasize or go into details about anything related to my personal matters, as my legal will basically be dealing with all of those aspects.
a smear campaign. And no, my dear, you just write a bad check. Therefore, you're getting a Dick Award. Congratulations. You just come and you're getting. This is horrible. I'm not saying it. I'm not finishing that line. But you get an award. Minister of VSR, Miss Paula Gordon Carty, you getting a Dick. For 2019 at least. Let's see what else is going to be in store for you. Number two. The number two Dick awardee goes to the government of French Saint-Martin. Why Saint-Martin? Because of this whole PPRN situation that's happening on the French side. This is by far the best thing I've seen. So first they said the PPRN is coming. People want this government. The government then in turn says, okay, but we're going to have council meetings and the prefecture and this and that. We're going to have meetings and we're going to do this. And we're going to inform the people because, it's safe and belt and hurricane and so on. They warn him since last year that if this thing comes into effect, trouble going to reach. They ignored it. Then, when the party start on the French side, they are like unity and we all need to stick together and they are unfair when they are the ones who are supposed to represent the people. I usually don't cross borders, but I gotta cross borders this time to share a Dick Award to the French side president and his government, Daniel Gibbs. You get a Dick Award. Whew. And your number one Dick awardee. Now I need a drum roll, please. Can I get a drum roll? Very nice, very nice. Okay. I got an envelope here somewhere. Let me get an envelope. All right. The winner of the 2019 Dick Awards goes to the worst leader in St. Martin history, Franz Richardson. Uncle Franz, you are the winner of the Dick Awards for 2019. Why? Because you are the worst leader in St. Martin history. Oh, you want to know why? I'm trying to find one of the many reasons. So give me a minute. Okay, let me take the latest one. Franz Richardson said that we should not, for the next government, they should not form government with any independent members of parliament or any members that jump ship. But Franz Richardson right now is in a coalition of 4 independent members. Oh, you want more? I could go on for days. You sure you want more? Because like Franz Richardson appoints a minister who had some tax issues and then nominates them for the Ministry of Finance. And because the person didn't pass for finance, France then turns and put them for VSR. The person background, an accountant. You want more? Like, I could go on for days. Oh, this is a good one. Franz Richardson then tells you about young people are the future. Lures a young Rolando Bryson into the fold of politics. Molds him and says, you are going to become the leader of the USP party. He gets arrested while his protege or his other colleague, parliamentarian who represents the USP, who is the faction leader of the USP at the time. He comes out of jail. Franz Richardson comes out of jail. So he was arrested for, some illegal acts or some allegedly illegal acts. And he comes out, and this just recently happened. He comes out of jail. Franz Richardson comes out of jail. And then he leads the list after offering Rolando Bryson, the member of parliament, the faction leader of the USP at the time, the number one position, but not the leadership, because he's going to lead. And soon, very soon in the distant future, he's going to be leader of USP, but young people are the future. This is why he is the worst leader in St. Martin history. Franz Richardson, I will be mailing this dick to you because I don't know if you're going to come for it. I know you're going to come to the leaders' debate anyway. That does it for our Dick Awards 2019. Congratulations to all the winners. I hope you enjoyed our award show this year. And of course, politicians, continue to make us proud. Because at the end of the year, you're going to get a dick. Welcome to the Late Night Show. Let us begin!
How are you?
Hi, darling. I'm fine. Just calling to say hi.
Oh, okay. We got over here.
Girl, I hear watching this movie and it...
But Mom, you finished all your minutes yet?
No, girl. Talem has new postpaid plans and automatically upgraded my postpaid package.
Is that so?
Guess what? I am getting more minutes and almost double the amount of data for the same price.
I guess I'm making a switch now.
Let me call you back, Mom.
Hey Tash, you hear about Telem new postpaid plans?
Take a chip now. Shake it. Young DJ plays. Run and tell them I say we are the sound them selectors play. Every day, making you sweat. And when the girl them tell it, and shadow dingole, DJ plays what to say. We are the sound of soca. bad soca. Big bad soca. Big bad soca.
At SXM, we're taking travel and tourism to new heights. Here we boast spacious check-in areas, 10 passport control points, comfortable departure lounges, and an exciting new airport mall. Finally, there's an airport in the Caribbean that takes your travel plans as seriously as you do. Princess Juliana International Airport. The experience will move you.
When the ping pong say boom and the bass drum say boom, coming down the road with our smile. When we feeling the beat and the music so sweet, we walk 100.
Okay, kids, what's happening on the lovely island of St. Martin? Of course, a lot is happening. We got to get you up to speed if you are living under a rock, apparently, because the amount of things that are hot topics these days, it makes the COVID time look like a joke. All right, let me start off with GEBE, your company that is there to serve themselves. No, it's something with serve. I can't remember. They got to serve somebody because we the one who pay them, and then they end up cutting us off coming September. So I think it's something with serve. It can't come to me. But anyway, the company is, again, you know, if the management wasn't so bad, I would have understood that at least they would be doing something that can reflect in an actual partner in progress, you know. And I'm not a fan of the Worst Bank in St. Martin, the WIB, but coming back to GEBE, how is it that our only electricity and water company on the 16 square miles, not even on the whole island, just 16 square miles, can't get the act together when it comes to the billing service? Now, of course, 6 months ago, it was cute to say that, you know, the black bite situation and, you know, they recovered so much data and everything is hunky-dory and they have reserves from here until Timbuktu. So there's no problem, there's no issues, but we're going to start to cut you off starting September, even though we can't give you a proper bill. I need you to understand what GEBE is doing now, people. They lost the information that you have been giving to them. And then after they lost it, yes, it was a hack. Okay, whoop-de-doo. Even if it was a bomb that exploded in the whole server room, or it was somebody that came and stole it and brought it to their house, and now nobody could find it, they are ultimately responsible for the information that you give them, right? Because on a monthly basis, they bill you. But now at the same time, after this hack situation, they lost your information, and they're telling you that based on your last invoice or the invoices that you have before, pay according to that every single month until they get their act together. You hear what I'm saying? Until you get your act together. Meanwhile, they come out with a bogus press release after people are starting to complain even more that they don't know whether they double paying, triple paying, but at the same time, they're starting to cut you off starting September, and everybody has a responsibility
thank you for choosing us as your provider. That's basically what you're telling us. I can't for the life of me understand how the government of St. Martin, yes, it comes back to the government because the government is the one in charge, right? They're supposed to what? Govern. Anyway, a meeting of parliament took place on Wednesday. The Prime Minister went to the meeting because the Minister of Vromi called in sick. Bullshit. Sorry. Anyway, the Minister of Vromi called in sick. And the reason why he's sick is because he doesn't want any more backlash. So he called in sick. Or he might have a cough, or he might have monkeypox. We don't know, and it doesn't matter because the minister is entitled to a sick day. Of course, call in your sick days, my friend. But at the same time, who is ultimately responsible? Well, the Prime Minister. And she came prepared. Your highlights for yesterday's meeting.
I've taken note of the request that was submitted last week whilst a general shareholders meeting, extraordinary general shareholders meeting had been scheduled for Friday, August 19th. The meeting of the Council of Ministers, so the concern that is being expressed here in Parliament has been the concern of this government, and we have also been having meetings and requesting information. Just to update the members of Parliament, I believe our third-party meeting, when I say third-party, because it wasn't a full shareholders meeting or anything like that, with GEBE, with the Council of Ministers, was on June 30th, post the hacking, where some information was shared and the sentiments of government was given in terms of what was expected. Following that, information had been requested as well, which some of which was started to be received as of August 5th. The reminders for calling of a shareholders meeting was also reiterated, which was scheduled in the beginning of August for August 19th. So as such, the government of St. Martin has been doing its due diligence to hold the government-owned company, NVGEB, accountable for the situation that has arisen and is affecting the general population and, of course, affecting NVGEBE. The presentation that was made on Friday, the meeting went extensively long, I must say, and several follow-up questions were posed by the shareholder to be responded to by NVGEBE. Reason why I asked for a postponement of this meeting so that we were able to get the full picture from the company. Another point of concern of the government and shareholder of NVGEBE is the lack of communication to the general public. This was also addressed in both meetings, both the third-party meeting as well as the shareholders meeting, and the activity or the action that was expected out of that was that definitely more clarity would be given to the general public as of Monday gone. Seeing that that didn't happen, there was an emergency meeting also of the board, which took place, and there was also follow-up meeting discussions in the Council of Ministers meeting yesterday on the way forward in dealing with the lack of communication as well as the challenges that have been brought forth while we await the rest of the information that has been sought. As such, Madam Chair, I believe we have done our due diligence as a government-owned company, towards the government-owned company. We are awaiting the responses. A press statement, as I was made to understand, has been recently put out by the management of NVGEBE. I have not had an opportunity to go in depth, but I would like to reiterate that the people of St. Martin, I am also one of those people who have received some bills, several have not. The presentation we received gave a number, but I believe for public consumption, we must have precise numbers, and the management wanted to update the numbers that had been presented to us on Friday before bringing it to the general public. As such, Madam Chair, I will allow the members who have called this meeting.
I know nothing more of
the current situation of GB than I knew before the Prime Minister took the floor. So actually my question is, from what has been stated in the media, for example, by the government, that, and now I'm quoting the Prime Minister's own words, a slew of information or documentation was received. Could the Prime Minister, Madam Chair Lady, at least break it down for us so the information that the government now is privy to, let us know the questions that I have following up from the last meeting that we had regarding GEBE and things that happened since. But what does the government know? Yeah, fine, due diligence, and the board is doing the due diligence, and the government is doing due diligence. Has the government, for example, been able to ascertain what is the present situation with respect to the billing at GEBE and all of the different stories that we're hearing, cases that we're hearing? What is the truth to that? Madam Chair Lady, there are so many questions or so many statements that were made in the last meetings that we have had, question hour, meeting on GB, and now the question is, since the hack of the GB system in March of this year, where do we stand with all of the different things? To start with, the strategic plan of GB, told back then it is in the make. Where is it? What is the current financial situation of GEBE?
But I'll state my concerns plain, as I did in my request for a question hour with the Minister of ROMI in June over the same topic. GB is our only electricity provider. This is my concern as a citizen who needs GB, and as a member of parliament who is ultimately concerned about government's handling of what I consider our most critical government-owned company. Because without them, we are quite literally in darkness. Madam Chair, when the Minister of ROMI came to Parliament for the question hour in June, there seemed to be some kind of light at the end of the tunnel. However, since that question hour, there has been no real information coming out of government, nor out of GEBE, to update the people with the current state of the situation. As a personal example, in early July, I received my April and May invoices, but with no adjustments for the payments I still made in April and May. So I'm wondering, did that money go into a mystery zone? Seeking clarity from GB does not really yield any answers, and I don't like to harass people I know that work there personally because they have a job to do. But if this is a challenge for me, what of those people who make below average income, who very often have to make a choice between what bill they're going to pay this month? They cannot afford to keep pumping money into a void with no feedback or updates on where their money is going. Further to that, I'm sure we've all heard of persons and businesses that are hesitant to pay anything to GB until there is some more clarity over the ongoing situation, including when they can expect to see those payments reflected in their bill. But that yields to the financial situation that MP Westcott Williams and I'm sure others will talk about throughout this meeting. Madam Chair Lady, it goes without saying, again, that I share that incredible worry for the situation at GEBE. In the wake of that question hour, I and the people of St. Martin have been demanding more information where we can with what is being shared. I'll state it for the record that my questions today are going to pertain mainly to the cybersecurity and ICT infrastructure side of the situation. If need be, I understand some of it may be sensitive. I don't have any issue requesting a closed-door meeting to get those answers from the Prime Minister or the Minister of ROMI when he's feeling better regarding the sensitive nature of cybersecurity. However, I'm going to pose the questions regardless, because I believe the public also needs to hear them to understand the gravity of the situation.
Madam Chair, I would like to know through you to the Honorable Prime Minister, was a meeting called by the temporary manager with the executive management team, the EMT, directly after the hack? If yes, or if no, I would like to know why not. Madam Chair, how many meetings were held with the EMT following the cyber attack? Did the temporary manager visit the various departments in order to understand the effect on the organization? Madam Chair, what was Aurora Infotech's role after the cyber attack? Madam Chair Lady, in addition to that, who is Aurora Tech? Can GEBE give a breakdown detailed on this company? Madam Chair, how much did Aurora Infotech charge GEBE for the data recovery? And was any data recovered? Did GEBE submit a request for quotation, for 3 quotations to any other cybersecurity companies according to internal procedures? Or did they outright award Aurora Infotech the job in resolving the matters? If that is the case, Madam Chair Lady, I would like to know why. Madam Chair, did GEBE have an existing contract with Aurora Infotech? Aurora Infotech. Was Aurora Infotech paid in full for the works performed? And if yes, how much? Madam Chair.
So with that, members of Parliament, I don't know if the Prime Minister would like to have closing remarks before we adjourn. No? Then we will adjourn this meeting until further notice. Meeting adjourned until further notice.
Okay, so nothing happened. Nothing happened. From what we know is that she had to go and have a meeting with Van Heuvelen, the Dutch Minister of Interior Affairs and Dutch citizens and the stuff, you know what I mean. And then, yeah. Now, of course, a meeting with the shareholder rep and the shareholder representatives and GEBE is set to take place this coming Friday. And then hopefully Parliament can get the answers from the board, whoever is left in the board. It was just horribly prepared. I mean, the government have no idea what is going on in the government-owned companies. And speaking about not knowing what the hell is going on, because at the same time, September is coming, GEBE basically telling you that no matter what, they're starting to cut off, so start to come and pay. What to pay? You just have to guess. And hopefully you're right. And if you're wrong, you're going to get cut. That's St. Martin. It's still a real place. Well, at least I would like to think so. In other news, the Catholic School Board. Listen, okay, all right, let me be fair. The Catholic School Board had a meeting with the Minister of Education, Culture, Youth and Sport. And during the meeting, you know what, I'll leave the minister tell you the story. This is him during the press briefing on Wednesday.
In regards to the issue surrounding the alleged situation at the SCOS school, I have informed last week that I would be having a meeting with the school board. I did have the meeting with the school board. We did not go into the content of the report or research that was done at the Catholic School Board level regarding the topic at hand. However, I left the meeting indeed with the understanding that the school board would report the incident, but received a letter after from the school board indicating that the laws at this moment does not, let us say, require that they make a report. What I want the public to understand here is that even though the present laws does not have sufficient ability to enforce the reporting, we at the ministry have already started with the upgrading of the law to make this possible. And this was also taken into consideration. However, even though this is known to the school board, they still indicated that this is not yet finalized. So they do not at this moment have to adhere to unfinalized articles in the upgraded law.
So let me get this, like I couldn't wrap my head around the answer because he was rolling in circles, like the way the government is, just continues to go round and round and ring a rosy. So I had to ask the question, just to be clear. just as a clarification on the meeting you had with the school board, so was it that the advice given to the school board for them to actually report the incident, and then it was agreed upon, and after you left, a letter was sent to you informing you that that will not happen? I just wanted to be clear.
Thank you, Mr. Andrew, for the question. It was not a meeting where an advice was given to the school board. I went to the school board because of time matter. That was one. And secondly, to also indicate my concern. I feel that this is a very delicate matter. It is something that deals with our students and our children. It must be noted that our children, our students must be able to understand that school is a safe place. And if something happens at the school, it should be reported. Now, in our conversation, I understood from him that it would be reported the next day. And when I received the letter the day after, which indicates the position he took in regards to the law, so the law is not in place, or the law to enforce reporting is not sufficiently there for secondary schools. And I have also sought legal advice on this. I haven't received it as yet, but I'm awaiting.
So basically, the school board told the minister, yes, something happened. I can't tell you what happened. We're going to look into it, and maybe we will file official complaints with your ministry and with the police. And then they left the meeting. And then after the minister went back to his office, the minister then receives a formal letter from the school board, including the person who he spoke to, who said that they were going to file the complaint, and said, you know what? We don't really have to, so therefore we're not going to, but you can always update your laws. Only in St. Martin. Only in St. Martin. So now the parliament and everybody, the mother, the sisters, are looking to go and meet so that they can fix the situation, because I guess we didn't know about it. Meanwhile, the Catholic school board don't have to do anything. They don't have to say anything because the laws are not up to par. So who do we blame? No, you can't blame the Catholic school board. You have to blame the people who are supposed to be updating the laws, the people who continue to receive the salaries. There are 15 people who have to meet on a constant basis to update, create legislation. Yes, the Parliament of St. Martin, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you're in opposition, whether you're in the coalition, whether you are governing, whether you are in jail, whether you are suspended and still receiving a salary, draft initiations. Yes, it's a real thing. So, that is going to be one of those things whereby we're going to just talk about it. It's going to be very hurtful at first, and we're going to feel appalled, and we need to do something as soon as possible until the next situation arises, and then we're just going to be like, okay, they're working on it. Next. Yeah. I tried to find a lighter situation to what took place during the week, because it's a bunch of things that continues to upset me. But you need to be informed, and that's what we're here for, okay? And therefore, we are going to give you somebody right now who gives you the most information every single week consistently at the Council of Ministers press briefing. And who's that? No, not the government. Mr. Brown.
Good morning to the people of St. Martin and the ministers that are present today. Question to the Honorable Minister of Health. Minister of Health, it have been pounding that the monkeypox is soon, it's on the way, heading to our shore, Minister. And the health apparatus emphasizing that there are certain relationship with men causing the escalation of the monkeypox. Minister, what will be your statement on this matter? Minister of Justice, I read the release from your movie, unscripted movie, that will highlight certain aspects of crime on the island. Minister, it has been a norm right now that in 2 weeks and more, person have been a suspect of sexual misbehavior. Minister, as you emphasizing, you want to combat, in other words, direct young people and holistically people from committing crime. But when somebody accuse person and do not have evidence, like for sexual misbehavior, yes, and then they have to be arrested. Presently now, a police officer have been accused of sexual misconduct. And not he only. Now we also, Minister Samuel spoke about the school investigation, and it has been going on all the time. But when you do not find any proof that this person have done any sexual misbehavior, then what? But the stigma have went out already. So what would be a statement on such matter, Minister? Question to the Minister of Justice. Minister of Justice, you seem to be in the front line these days, Minister. The people are wondering how soon they're going to hear the pronunciation of the grace period. And those people who have been denied document, would they have any opportunity to sign in, to be a part of the grace period?
Okay, so there was one question that kind of made sense when it comes to the immigration situation here on the island. I know that Mr. Brown tried to ask a question and the minister tried answering. But there is a deeper situation that we have to look at. And when I heard of the situation, it kind of broke my heart. And it's kind of tough to break my heart because I don't consider having one. The situation is, with this immigration thing, is that there are a number of persons that are born in St. Martin. Now follow me, born on St. Martin, and still has to go through the process of residence permit, from resident permit. And sometimes they might have a gap, and sometimes they have to be flown out for medical reasons. And because they don't have the right paperwork for the country that they're born in, they're not allowed to come back to the country that they are born in. So then they are sent to the country that their parents are from. It still happens in 2022.
Man could appear good, but man not nice.